I'm an innocent bystander. They saying I drove a getaway car, but I cannot see. I'm legally blind. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm innocent.
Come on this way.
Huh?
You can see though, right?
I'm legally blind. I can see, barely. I'm innocent. I ain't do nothing. I don't know what's going on. All I know is my side of the story. I can't tell no other story. I'm innocent. And Mama, I love you. P.O.P. all the time. Right, these all good pimp squad, baby, for life.
That hustle. Big shout out to SPR, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
I do believe that the white beauty standard that America has imposed upon us over the last, I don't know, 100 years or so or better, even hundreds of years probably, to be more exact, is over with everybody doing all type of injections to their lips and BBLs and titties and doing everything they can to appear to be more melanated. I even saw a clip the other day of somebody of a tan. Boy, it's getting extreme. But I guess that Ebony played a big part in helping breaking some of those barriers. And this is a piece of content that seems to explain that. So I figure, hey, you know, over here we diverse. We not just with the fuckery. With no further ado, let's see what the magazine Ebony and Ivory has been up to.
During the 1940s, Black beauty was either invisible or the joke. America was basically telling you that you did not belong. That was until Ebony and Jet showed up. They made regular Black people the standard. They created a cosmetic company for dark skin when none existed. And they proved to advertisers that Black money was always green. So join us today while we tell the story of how Ebony taught America that Black is beautiful. If you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at onemichistory.com. But without further ado, let's get started. Before World War II, the main idea of beauty in popular culture was white. When Black people showed up on screen, they were often stuck in ugly stereotypes: the Jezebel, the mammy, the clown, the servant. In a lot of white newspapers, Black people were mainly shown for crime and disaster. There was this daily message that you weren't less than. And if you've never seen your image honored, you start to doubt your own possibilities. So in Chicago, a young insurance salesman by the name of Johnny Johnson looked at all of this and decided to do something simple. If you want to change how people act, you first have to change how people see you. Johnny Johnson was part of the Great Migration. His family left Jim Crow, Arkansas to start a new life in Chicago. He worked at a Black-owned insurance company in Bronzeville, which is a Black neighborhood full of Black businesses and talent. And he...
Damn, what happened, man? Damn. This lets you know it's not just a genetic thing of the condition we see a lot of our people in. Something took place. We had an era where we were thriving. It's crazy.
Read both the white press and the Black press, and he saw how the Chicago Defender and the Pittsburgh Courier uplifted Black life, and he wanted to do that with a glossy magazine. So in 1942, Johnson tested the idea of Negro Digest, a pocket magazine that shared Black writing and ideas. It was designed to be a Black Reader's Digest, and it sold out. That small win proved that there was an audience. So in 1945, he took a bigger risk. He borrowed $500 against his mother's furniture and launched Ebony. His wife and partner, Eunice Walker Johnson, chose the name Ebony, like the dark wood, and the title said it all: Black is beautiful. Ebony's recipe was clear. It borrowed strong.
I just now noticed how they had that ebony in the same font, placed in that same red block like life. Is people similar to that too? I believe so.
Visuals from Life magazine, but put black people at the center. It covered showed stars like Lena Horne, Dorothy Dandridge, Joe Louis, Thurgood Marshall, Muhammad Ali in elegant photos. Inside, readers saw sororities, small businesses, HBCU graduates, travel, fashion, art, and home life. Its tone was not defensive. It was joyful and proud. The message to black readers was to display every part of black American life. And its message to white readers was that you need to update your idea of what American is. Johnson also built a strong team. He hired skilled editors and photographers. He invested in good paper and good ink and careful photo work so that image matched the dignity of the people on the page. Ebony felt like a keepsake.
That was wise not to do a tacky job. I know a lot of time coming across urban literature, it often comes across tacky, like independent films did a long time. They're doing a lot better now. But Tubi has his reputation. A lot of time when you try to make your own version of something that is already great, you cut corners because it's a difficult task. But salute to him for not doing that, understanding the mission.
Families saved issues. Teachers bought them for their classes, and families mailed them to soldiers overseas. In 1951, Johnson saw another need: speed. People wanted a quick weekly record that they could carry in their pocket, read on the bus, pass along in the barbershop or the beauty salon. So he launched Jet.
And Jet indicates fast too. I never even realized the correlation. It was smaller. This was more like a TV guide. TV guide used to come in this format, this size. But TV guide didn't have all the photos and articles as much. It just had like a few articles and a lot of listings and programming.
A small, fast, and profoundly black magazine. It covered politics, weddings, obituaries, entertainment, and day-to-day progress in the civil rights movement. Many called it the Negro Bible because if it mattered on Wednesday, it was in Jet on Friday. That weekly rhythm made a difference. In a time when many mainstream papers ignored black life, a stack of Jet on a counter turned into a newsroom. Ebony and Jet became a monthly and weekly mirrors that said, "Look at us and look at what we had built." From the very first issue, Ebony pushed back against insult. It showed black women and men as smart, modern, and stylish. It ran features on HBCUs, campus queens, debutante balls, professional women's clubs. It linked beauty and learning to work and service and refused to put us in the old boxes and always showed us as a full-fledged, well-rounded people. This idea was rooted in the Harlem Renaissance and the New Negro movement, which said that self-presentation could change how people treat you. Ebony updated that for this post-war era. The point was not to copy white standards, it was to set a black standard, elegance on our own terms. With that in mind, in 1952, Jet added the beauty of the week in each week.
And that was a hit. A lot of us, that's all we know. I know the older people, the women, more sophisticated individuals probably dug into the magazine for all the other things. However, people like us, that's all we knew was the beauty of the week. You grab the book, go straight to the beauty of the week. If you had some time, you was in the lobby or you was doing something else, then you might thumb through the rest. But initially, if you're in the liquor store, the grocery store, the drugstore, and you see one, pick it up, you're going to see that beauty of the week.
On a full-page photo of everyday women, often in a bathing suit with a name, city, job, and interest. A teacher.
Your first social media posters. Look at her with her little two-piece on.
In St. Louis, a nurse in Houston, a student in DC. For a country trained to ignore black beauty, it was quite the shock. It said that our black neighbors set the standard, not the exception. And some love the spotlight of everyday women, and others worried about the male gaze and modesty. Jet printed letters that covered both sides, and the feature kept going and evolving, but the core message stayed the same. Ordinary black women deserve to be in frame. The magazine did not just stop at pages. In 1958, Eunice Johnson started the Ebony Fashion Fair. It began as a fundraiser and grew into a famous touring show. It brought high-level Paris fashion to local theaters and ballrooms across the country. Church groups and college students dressed up for the show. Tickets raised millions of dollars for scholarships and community programs, and Eunice had strong taste and real power. If a fashion house was slow to loan clothes for the Black show, she bought her own clothes, and designers soon learned that the fashion fair crowds were stylish and ready to spend. Black models who were often shut out by the big names were walking the runway in Dior and Givenchy and Saint Laurent, and they showed that high fashion and Black beauty belonged together. But backstage, there was a problem. Makeup didn't match darker skin. Artists mixed 3 and 4 lighter shades just to make one that might work. Powders left a gray cast. Lipstick disappeared on darker lips. The problem wasn't the models. The problem was a market that refused to see us. So in 1973, Eunice solved it by launching Fashion Fair Cosmetics. It was the first high-end makeup line built for darker complexions.
Now, I've never heard of that name, or if I did, it's faded away. Was there another one after that that would be more memorable? Did we have, I think it's another Black name for Black makeup, no?
Department stores carried it, and its shade range honored the full spectrum of Black skin. Lipsticks and blushes that look good in real life just as they did on camera. And Fashion Fair grew into the world's largest Black-owned cosmetics company. It proved that the question was never, is there a demand?
That name did not ring a bell when it comes to like just familiarity. Maybe. I don't know.
Man, it was, will companies serve us with some respect? This change spread to other areas of media. Photographers learned to light darker skin. Beauty writers learned to test more than 2 or 3 shades. Hair stories expanded to include natural styles like locks and braids, and talked about how hair politics mattered. Ebony and Jet taught readers how to read images, how to look at a pose, how to read a headline, an ad, a product line, and ask, do I see myself here? Additionally, John H. Johnson was a sharp salesman. In 1947, he brought in Zenith as an advertiser. He also targeted automakers and big home brands. The pitch was very simple. Black households were $1 million market, and Black money was always green.
That white baby, boy, that's a cold little mental fuck right there.
He backed this with numbers of jobs and income and education, and he showed that loyal readers had real buying power. Many ad leaders were used to selling to the white suburbs. Johnson showed them a new path. He proved that ads with Black models and Black sales reps worked better with Black consumers, and he built a sales team that knew the Black community. Additionally, he was patient and stubborn. One story talks about a salesman who went to Detroit every single week for years before a car company finally said yes to ads in the magazine. And as those deals landed, the pictures changed. You began to see Black families in car ads, Black professional and banking ads, Black couples in travel spreads. These were simple images, but they had been missing. And the goal was not a one-time token. It was a steady, honest picture. If you want someone's business, show them some respect. In the 1960s and 1970s, the Black is Beautiful movement grew strong. Natural hair, African-inspired clothes, and art that centered Black life became more common.
Last time you seen a Black couple both rocking afros, proudly feeling like they look good. That's crazy.
And Jet gave that movement a glossy home with a large audience. By the 1980s, Ebony reached.
Still got this version of hair going on. Hell, he's still trying to have his version of this. He probably got about 3 of these strands left. He hanging on. Shout out Stevie like a barber.
Millions of readers and touched roughly 40% of Black audiences. Jet's weekly rhythm kept all of this in motion, and the wins didn't feel like a one-off when you saw them week to week, month to month. And this helped the magazine change the ad industry from the inside. Black-owned ad agencies used
You got some little tiny, sexy, perky little stand up, no bra titties. Look at them. Oof.
Ebony and Jet to prove that cultural specific ideas perform better than
I see Hennessy, Newport, some McDonald's, and this motherfucker kind of heavy. Man, that little beer too.
generic ones. And the lesson was very clear. People buy when they feel seen, not when they feel used. Representation was not charity, it was smart business. But these pictures didn't stand alone. Ebony and Jet
What make a nigga look like this? I want to chop his face up to look like a damn corpse animal white man. That's crazy.
helped build an ecosystem around Black beauty and pride. Charm schools and modeling agencies trained posture and speech and confidence. As more brands hire Black models, more people got work and experience, and opened doors in TV and movies and on runways. Community groups use Ebony Fashion Fair to raise money for scholarships and local programs. Church ran bus trips to shows. Sororities and social clubs helped host events. Beauty became a way to fund education and build Black community power. Local groups grew too. Tailors and hairstylists and makeup artists and photographers built small businesses around the standards that Ebony and Jet set. Department stores that sold Fashion Fair hired Black beauty advisors.
With them beautiful big lips on their photos. Yeah. Now they trying to make these lips ain't even big enough no more. It's crazy. Man, it's crazy.
Who knew how to match shades and give real advice. Some of these workers moved on to buying and management, which led to store culture changing from the inside. Even the company itself sent a message. Johnson Publishing built a modern glass and steel headquarters.
It seemed like there should have been a makeup company just called Ebony. That would have been perfect. That shit would have rang perfect for that time too.
On Michigan Avenue in Chicago, and it said out loud that Black media belonged on the skyline. While Jet could be glamorous, it could also be serious. In 1955, it made a hard moral choice. With Mamie Till Mobley's permission, Jet published photos of Emmett Till's open casket funeral, and these images were extremely painful, but they weren't graphic. And that decision is one of the reasons why Emmett Till is still within the public consciousness, and it helped shame the country and force a country to act. So, what happened when Ebony and Jet put Black people on the cover again and again? First, representation moved from being rare to normal. A Black girl in Birmingham or a Black boy in Johannesburg could open a magazine and see a future that had never been pictured to them before. Second, Black beauty stopped being a weapon used against Black men and women. On these pages, Black beauty became a proof of dignity, skill, and belonging. And third, advertisers, who were the gatekeepers of mass attention, had to invest images that respected Black consumers. Pictures did the work that laws and policy could not do alone. Congressman Louis Stokes said that Johnny Johnson, without holding public office, stood at the front of the fight for equality. And that's the message here. Ebony and Jet used the soft power of a glossy page to move the hard edges of American racism. And these two magazines had one idea: change the picture. Ebony and Jet replaced cheap cartoons with real people, shame with style, absence with abundance. And they did not just record a movement, they put a face to it, a wardrobe, a smile that could look straight into the camera and say that you belong. Thank you.
I like that, man. Ebony, Jet. It's always good to know your history. I can remember when I was a very, very young boy from being conditioned for magazines and TV, not realizing that Black girls was pretty. I at one point thought the only people was pretty was white girls with blonde hair. I don't know if it was preschool or kindergarten. I had a Black girlfriend in kindergarten. I figured it out quite young. But at one point, that was the image that I saw in my head in the early 70s, I believe. I suppose. I also saw something recently, a piece about how, you get the stereotype about Blacks and Cadillacs. And there's an actual story about how black people actually saved Cadillac, I believe, in the 20s or 30s or the 40s. However, blacks weren't allowed to put their money in banks in this particular time. And they had a Great Depression. All the people had their money in the banks they lost all their money. Nobody had any money. And because of this, Cadillac was on its way out. But the only people who happened to have some money were the people who weren't allowed to put their money in these white banks when the banks crashed. And someone suggested to Cadillac at a board meeting that they do something to market toward blacks, and blacks came in rows and saved Cadillac. Look it up, do your history. It's a little more of an extensive story than that. We might even cover it here on the Black Box. Keep it a Google, though. Oh, my mama. So his grandparents there at school?
Grandparents.
You didn't know I was your grandparent?
I know you're my grandparent.
You didn't know Popo meant grandparent?
Yeah, I know.
You know now, huh? I love you.
I love you too.
You gotta go sit down where you're supposed to sit with your kid.
Snake wasn't that personal. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. I'm in the Black Box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.